We should have free public gyms, like how we have free public libraries. Being large is an epidemic in America, but yet there is no easy way to exercise for free, besides running. That's why I suggested we have public gyms. Like we have free libraries. Just like knowledge from books, everyone should have free access to the ability to be fit and healthy. And with gyms costing money, and often a decently hefty sum, most people don't want to pay for it, especially those who need it most. If we had public gyms to be sponsored, we could make it easier for people to have access to gyms and be cheaper for them as well. That way we can have both an educated and fit population. In Britain we had a big push on outdoor gym equipment a few years ago. It doesn't get used. Those that want to exercise find a way, those that don't find an excuse. Paid gyms already disgusting enough. I can imagine a free public one will just have wired yellow goo and gunk everywhere that I don't even want to know where it came from. Free public gyms. Good on paper, but gyms that require subscriptions usually have clean, organized facilities. The people that go alongside you, most of the time, clean up after themselves and put stuff back because they pay the same subscription. If gyms were free and everyone was able to use them, I guarantee you it'd be a disgusting shit show. Apathetic staffing, disorganized waits, a crowd of 13-year-olds fucking around with the benches for hours. In other words, even if free gyms existed, I'd still pay for a premium one and consider the free gyms a waste of taxpayer money. I agree. Hopefully this will stop all those annoying PT and gym commercials I see with people smiling whilst jogging. People still won't go, they'll just have another excuse for why they can't. I always thought that outside was a free public gym. The obesity epidemic is from eating too many calories, and weight loss only requires eating fewer calories, not exercise. You can verify that in nutrition textbooks at your public library. By the way, most people with gym memberships don't use them regularly. Good idea but hard to scale in reality. You need 100 gyms to a library possibly. This is a clever idea. I'd like to add that I've had a free gym membership for 5 years from my job and I've never ever used it. Now they're taking it away and I'm upset for some reason. I'd also like to add that a lot of public parks in my area have these outdoor gym equipment type stuff that I see old people using all the time. We do. It's called Go Outside. There are other countries with even less access to cheap gyms that don't have the same level of obesity that we do. The issue here is our diets, and our corporate-sponsored culture of eating cheap and unhealthy food in larger and larger portions. Why don't they just go jogging or something? That's free, right? First, eating right is infinitely more important than working out. Second, when you say free, that means gov-funded. When something is gov-funded, it's actually taxpayer-funded. The gov has zero income without tax revenue. No, I will not pay for your gym membership. Gym memberships are cheap enough. I don't need the government forcing me to pay more taxes, to do a worse job than a $19.95 a month gym. This is actually a really great idea. I live in England where healthcare is tax-funded, virtually free for working class. I wouldn't have any data to back it, but I'd be pretty confident Gov would at least break even on money saved on healthcare if people had access to a gym. Gym memberships where I live are more expensive than the most premium phone contracts. My local charge is £70 a month. The only exercise that really loses any weight is fork put-downs. Where I'm from there is tons of low-resistance exercise in stalls at parks. The fact of the matter is that morbidly obese people shouldn't be getting into hard exercise, it puts them at risk of injury. As far as I have seen with chains like Planet Fitness in the US, I am Australian so don't live there, gyms are ridiculous cheap, like $20 a month. The real problem is the people. No matter how accessible a gym is, if they don't want to go they won't. I work in the fitness industry and people are lazy, regardless of if they are paying $40 a week or $5 a week. It's called nature. The problem is logistics. The upkeep needed for a gym is much higher than that of a library, and thus gyms have a higher capacity to deteriorate than libraries at the hands of incompetent or inattentive management, And when you are dealing with anything public, this is an issue to consider because the management will almost invariably be bad. At this very moment, there's a post below this one titled "Public swimming pools are fucking gross." This is an example of what I'm trying to say. Ew. Gross. And there's no such thing as free. They're called taxes, and you will definitely be paying more of them if you were to have taxpayer-funded gyms in your municipality. One more thing that people won't use and start to feel bad about. Unpopular. I think that gyms should be at least partially paid for by medical insurance, as they can essentially cure people of heart problems or obesity-related illness before it happens. However, having it completely free would cost way too much in maintenance and make going to the gym a shitty experience because of the volume of people and possible unclean/broken equipment. You don't need a gym to work out, and you especially don't need it to lose weight. Dropping pounds has to do with decreasing calories, not increasing reps. This is a great idea. In the UK where I am, some parks do have basic gym equipment, but I rarely see it being used. You want to pay for this over better schooling? Or better utilities? And #X200B. Good luck with that vote. In Germany, most sports clubs, e.g. the basketball club, are heavily subsidized by the city, directly or indirectly. The later, for example, usually the sports hall/gym used, is owned by the city as well and fairly cheap to rent for the club. Our sports clubs mostly address kind of competitive sports, e.g. there are weightlifting sports clubs as well, as in Olympic style or whatever weightlifting, but in the last decade or so some sports clubs started having gyms like you're talking about. Most parks around me have obstacle courses you can do for free. Freestanding and basic exercise equipment. Being large is an epidemic in America. I would support that idea, especially because it would likely make the paid gyms less crowded and some people would benefit. I think it would help some people, but a lot of unfit people do not like working out in front of a busy gym or don't know how to, so I'm not sure it would fix their problem. If you had free personal trainers and stuff, it would help a lot more because a good amount of people that don't work out don't know how to or don't have the money for a trainer, but you wouldn't get any good ones unless the free gym paid competitive wages like the paid ones. I could also see the free gym being kind of the homeless hangout because there's showers, bathrooms, lockers, and stuff. I think a better solution would be to incorporate a class in high school that only focuses on diet, working out, nutrition type stuff. Let people learn how to eat right, how to do basic workouts, body weight workouts they can do at home, that kind of stuff. We currently have health that's required when I was in high school, which was one semester, and it may have had one day that schemed over food groups. If we had a year-long class or something just focused in this area, I think it would be beneficial. Just a proper diet, some body weight exercises, and light cardio, walking or whatever can get someone from large to a healthy weight without the gym. It comes down to if someone wants it and will put the effort in. Having the knowledge to do that is the way to go, I think. We have free walking paths. Push-ups and sit-ups are free. My husband once made himself a pull-down machine in our garage with a milk crate, a cable wire, and a pulley. He put rocks into it for weights and had a broom handle for a bar. Go to a thrift store or pawn shop and buy yourself a bike. Riding a bike burns the same calories as jogging but doesn't jar your joints. It is also the most efficient form of transportation, using the least amount of energy to go the most amount of distance. Also, the bike paths can be pretty scenic as well. Lots of free ways to get fit and lose weight. Agree, but it wouldn't be that helpful for the majority of fat people. This isn't wrong, and where I live many HMOs actually fund or subsidize exercise courses. I just want to add that traditional gyms and health-related programs do differ a bit. E.g. for health training you have a stronger focus on endurance. Gyms also rely on people training on their own. If you want to keep unmotivated people exercising, you'd use groups to create a social commitment. Hence, health-funded programs are more likely about paying the trainer for a group of people that goes walking, swimming, or running, or for gyms that offer special courses. What does OP think parks are for? There are many countries in Europe that do have outdoor gyms. There are a few dotted about here in England, and I remember seeing repurposed machinery being used for free outdoor exercise in ex-Soviet countries. I think it's a great idea. Something similar exists in Turkey. It is called Youth Sports Centers, Gençlik Spor Merkezi. We do it's just found in parks instead of inside buildings. That's kinda better on the tax dollar. I agree with the idea of having free gyms. But the problem with that I believe is that the overall quality of the gyms will suffer. A good example to use are public libraries. A lot of public libraries are in terrible condition because they are underfunded. I have a feeling if gyms were free the same thing would happen, the overall quality of the gyms would suffer. But I may be wrong. We do, it's called a public park. Go outside and exercise. Run and do some push-ups. Would people really use a public gym that is upkept with government funds and workers? Unpopular, I'd rather have a public gym than library. Consider the wise membership are taxes and go ahead and pay up each month voluntarily. There are some libraries who offer classes like Zumba dancing and yoga. Most people don't like the gym. I'd say publicly funded football pitches, basketball and tennis courts would work better, cause most people don't like the gym and way more people like normal sports. Instead of free gyms, as good as that is, maybe a better education on healthy foods and the benefits of exercising every day from grade school through to high school or even college. And that PE/gym not be your only form of exercise in school. During school the teachers should get some students and just go for a walk around the yard or something. Just walking, nothing serious. Also making the healthy food more accessible and cheaper, and the junk food harder to access and more expensive. But that would mean your government cared about you, and since some places still don't have fresh water, I highly doubt anything will be done.